Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 64 of the Unknown Comics podcast. I'm Brandon. This is Chris, and we're here to talk about nerd stuff.
Nerd.
And if you are watching us on YouTube or listening to us on your favorite podcast app, you can always join us Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central. Not every Thursday. We try to do it most Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central on Whatnot at Unknown Comics Live. And you can join the podcast live, chat with us, and buy some cool products. So, yeah, don't forget to come do that. So tonight, we had a couple of nerd series conclude over the Face for Radio. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally a good thing.
Technically, they said that to me when I was in radio. And now look at me now.
Still got a face for radio.
Jerk. You're jealous. It's all right. I do have a great voice. Thank you.
Ace and Tella, Andrew says, are the cons done for the year? No. We actually have a convention team heading to Dallas tomorrow.
Yep.
For Cowtown in Dallas. It's a smaller town. Smaller con. The town is not that small, actually.
Yeah.
Then Darren was at a little show in Florida last week. I don't know what else we're doing con-wise for the convention setup.
Yeah, he's just kind of picking up little shows, pretty impromptu. And so there's no telling between now and the end of the year what else he'll...
Yeah. I'll be in Singapore, which is crazy, with Sabine Rich in December. And then I think our first show of the year next year here in the States is going to be New Orleans, but we're just doing an Artist Alley thing. I don't think we're taking the whole setup.
Yeah.
To New Orleans.
Coming to a con near you, maybe. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think we'll probably be doing a lot more stuff creator-wise next year, which will probably actually get us that more shows.
Yeah. So one thing I did find yesterday. Was it yesterday? Or the day before yesterday? No, it was the day before yesterday.
Oh, the new experience thing.
So there is a con in Minneapolis, Minnesota called the Experience, or I can't remember exactly the name of it. And it is an X-Men focused con, and it takes place in a building in Minneapolis that looks very much like the X-Mansion.
Yeah,
like the stylings, the architectural style, and so they actually the con is run inside of what looks like the X-Mansion. You get like a little student ID badge. You're encouraged to cosplay as a student. I won't cosplay. No. No way, form, or fashion.
He may wear an X-Men t-shirt.
I would totally do that.
That's about it.
Yeah. I'll wear my badge.
Yeah.
Just, because that's what you do. But
if somebody happened to give you a really cool visor, you may just put it on your head, but you probably still wouldn't put it over your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. I might wear like red sun. No, I can't do that. No, it's too close.
Just the Magneto helmet.
So I mentioned it to you and Darren and Mike, and Darren like immediately is like, "This is awesome!" And we got a message from him today. He's got us signed up for that con. So September of 2023,
I didn't even notice that he already signed us up. That's intense.
Yeah. It like, of course it's going to be a smaller show, but that kind of focused fan base. We have a lot of cool products to offer X-Men fans.
By that time, we will probably have beaten the record of most sequential issues of a book at that time. I think the record right now is like 43 Star Wars books.
Yeah.
So we're trying to beat that, but we have done a lot of X-Men books in a row.
Now, the next problem to that is if one of the big shows kind of collides with it somehow. Like the big shows can still
September, so I doubt it. It's a pretty good open month.
Yeah, but sometimes they move around.
Yeah. Most of them are already set for next year.
Yeah.
At this point, we kind of know New York's the second week of October. And a lot of the stuff that was in the fall is going back to its normal first.
But here's the cool thing.
Second quarter
so
time.
September next year, provided Marvel does the Hellfire Gala next year, which as far as we know, they will.
We've already been.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're working on it already.
So we'll have some Hellfire Gala books.
Yeah. There'll be some sort of something.
They won't be done, depending on how big that run goes.
Yeah.
We'll have more Miguel Mercado of the
yes.
I don't know what we're calling those, the white
I
The
don't
white
know.
solo figure.
I don't know what we do need to come up with a name for him, but we actually are extending his run. We had him going through 18, which is Storm.
Yeah.
Have you seen Storm?
No.
Let me see if I can pull it up. And then, but we have him.
Are you gonna show the camera with the little tiny?
Right, the little tiny.
Hi-oh.
Hey-oh. But we have him extending it all the way through issue 24 or something like that. So
Okay, we got a question on Whatnot. What did we think of Werewolf by Night? Now, hold on.
have you actually rewatched
I
that?
have not rewatched it yet. So we watched it.
Brandon was cute. His little nighttime nappies.
The Friday night of the con in our hotel room, in our tiny New York hotel room. That
Actually,
looks fantastic.
One of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I don't know if you're able to zoom in and kind of show the peeps.
I can zoom.
First look here
All right. We're
at our X-Men.
We're allowed.
I think it's 18.
Oh, thank you, NVIDIA drivers.
Is it trying to update while we're
not
doing
the
this?
Not the drivers. It's just trying to update the GeForce experience.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, hold on. Here we go. Sneak preview. Go Stream Deck, you piece of tar. Dun,
There
dun,
you go.
dun.
Miguel Micardo's current last X-Men cover, but he's already agreed to do at least another 6 with us. So
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
it's pretty cool.
Hold on.
I think it's actually one of my faves. Oh, am I focused?
It should autofocus. There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely killing them.
Yeah. So we'll have more of those, and just so many.
Oh, I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, but did you notice it froze again when it went off the window? Anyway, so many X-Men exclusives that we have to take to that experience. I think it'll be a fun show. Now,
And X-related exclusives. I mean, there's just so many.
Whether or not Crystal's going to let me go to another con after that that experience,
It's a whole nother year of kids getting older. We'll see, right?
You're right. Man, that was a long trip.
She's going to be like, do you want to do New York again or this one again?
Oh, I don't think I can do New York again.
Yeah.
That was a
intense.
slog.
Yep.
But
Well, you did good, friend. You did good.
thanks. Yeah, that was a lot of windshield time.
Yeah.
So much windshield time. Stay away from 4 staples. Hold on. Mason tell us says stay away from 4 staples. Hold on.
Am I missing something? Was there something else in the chat maybe I missed?
I don't know. I'm going to end this poll.
I was about to say, yeah, that's probably taking
Yeah.
up a lot of their screen.
Hold on. Okay. Pretty divided. So we put up a poll for those that have watched Lord of the Rings of Power.
What's up, Johnny boys?
How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best? And 5-1, I mean 4 and 5 are kind of the majority of
Yeah, overall, I would
everybody.
say people like it from just kind of seeing what we had there,
What's up, Johnny boy?
which I very much liked it.
I liked it. It was very slow paced.
Yeah.
Which it's Lord of the Rings. I mean, they're
Listen, if you've ever listened to the books, it was faster than those
Right.
bad boys.
yeah. and so here's the thing is they're kind of having to navigate a lot of rights minefields, right? So they weren't allowed to use anything directly from the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to use anything directly from the Lost Histories. They
Well,
could
and somebody else just bought the Tolkien rights like right before it hit. So there's that as well.
They just had a lot of stuff that they had to take some liberties with.
Doesn't matter how fast you can read. It's about how much he wrote.
Yeah, he was a world builder,
Yeah.
not necessarily a good storyteller.
Yeah.
Let's say that. And I think that to his credit, he was a linguist.
Mm-hmm.
That was his passion was writing languages, and he wanted a vehicle for
Blasphemy.
those languages, right?
He's not saying the story's bad.
No,
He's
I
just
just think
saying the way the story came out was
Yeah.
about
he was
the
a
world.
He was a better conceptualist. He was a better world builder. He'd be a really good GM for D&D, but not in the upper echelon of just straight good storytellers, right? That said, when he started this in the 30s and 50s, whatever, there wasn't anything really like it
no.
other than mythology.
No.
And that's how he wrote it. He wrote it like mythology.
Yeah, and he wanted there to be a full-blown world, which is what he did.
Yeah.
He didn't want anything left to the imagination. He wanted you to know it all.
Yep. So,
Yeah, C.S. Lewis is also great.
yeah,
Of course, lot more
contemporary
smaller books, which I guess technically a lot of the Lord of the Rings are broken into books inside of the big books.
Yeah.
So just kind of depending on how you go through it.
Yeah. So all that to say, and FYI, we are probably going to spoil quite a bit of Rings of Power and She-Hulk tonight.
You're welcome.
And anything that's completed and been out for a few days. Sorry.
It was weird not watching She-Hulk today because it was,
Yeah.
we've been watching it every Thursday. So,
but yeah, as far as Rings of Power, it's going where, like, it has to go to certain places in the story. We know what it's about. And I think that's always going to be something that hamstrings the television show is there are certain beats that they have to hit.
yeah.
It's kind of like when Lucas went back to do the prequels, right? There were certain things that he had to get to a certain point,
Yeah.
and your narrative is constrained by that. And so there's some choices with Sauron that they made that are just kind of, all right, sure.
I got a feeling season 2, we're going to see a different actor.
Yeah. Like maybe he changes shape quite a bit.
He's got you haven't even shown us that part, right? So,
Yeah.
we still got a lot more rings to be made, of course.
Which, like, they've already kind of retconned that. So according to the Silmarillion, the 7 rings for dwarves and the 9 rings for men were created first.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrimbor actually created the 3 elven rings in secret without Sauron knowing. After the fact.
Yeah.
And then, Sauron, of course, created the 1 ring. So we're already kind of out of order there, possibly.
Yeah, it could be that we come back to another season and they're going to completely go backwards.
Or the other rings are,
and they're already created.
They're already created.
Yeah.
And we just haven't seen it on camera.
And
yet.
that's what I'm saying. We may go backwards and get some of those other creations.
Maybe before Adar.
Yeah.
We
actually see him in his fair form.
Yeah.
It goes back to, Numenor not trusting elves. Yeah. Maybe we go back that far and see why they don't trust elves, and maybe it's partly him.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Ace Until asks, are there any good rings? Ish. So because of the way the elven rings were made,
they technically can be.
They can be used for good.
And they were used.
They were used for good. They are still susceptible, just not as susceptible as the other 16 rings were. Mm-hmm. But they could still be bound by the 1 ring, and were towards when the ring was taken from Sauron. Mm-hmm. But they are more resistant to it. Let's say that.
Yeah,
and have their own powers. So, and a lot of that has to do with, and I like that they set up that, like, which is weird. They can't use the Silmarillion, but they talked about the Cimmerals, Feanor Cimmerals, and that those gems are part of that.
Yeah.
So
do you think success of this? I know they've talked about doing some other series as well. Do you think we'll go back and see Morgoth? Do you think they'll make a series going backwards, further into the first Age of Men?
Maybe. I mean, like I said, a lot of the first age is well covered in the Silmarillion.
Yes, absolutely.
So the rights would have to be there. And again, I have to go back and look and see what Amazon actually had rights to. I may be backwards. They may not be able to use. I don't know. It's
so the Stranger, Johnny Boy's Comics is asking if we'll see 2 wizards. I think we'll see 3 by the end of the next season.
Yeah,
even 4 maybe. The Blue Wizards have got to be around first, right?
Not necessarily. They came with Saruman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still kind of feel like they have to be there before Gandalf, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing.
Even though the wizard that's on there is really kind of saying some Gandalf-y things.
Yeah, and here's kind of my theory about it. Is that the proper books mention the Istar were sent at the beginning of the Third Age when Sauron started rising to power. They were sent as a way to stop Sauron. It could be that Olorin, which is Gandalf's true name, was sent, and every time they're sent, maybe they lose their memory.
Yeah.
Because that kind of
sent again.
Maybe he dies and he comes back, but there's parts of his personality that stay, like his affinity for halflings that he's building and being with the Harfoots.
Yeah.
Maybe when he comes back in the Third Age,
And we kind of see the memory loss in a way when he comes back as the White Wizard.
as the White Wizard. Yeah.
I mean, that could be true.
Yeah. You know, and I thought part of that was, you know, maybe how they were going to write Sauron it is kind of the same process, right?
Yeah.
They never truly die, but they come back and they're kind of hampered when they first return, because Sauron is very similar to Gandalf. They're all Maiar.
Refresh my memory. Does the Lord of the Rings explain what happened to all the rings in the actual books? I'm guessing
The books it does. So all the 9 rings of men were reclaimed. Oh, well, they became the wraiths and became servants.
Yeah.
4 of the 7 dwarven rings were recovered by Sauron. 3 are not accounted for. They can't find them. And then all 3 of the elven rings. So at the end of the Third Age, during the books, Galadriel, Gandalf, and Elrond
are wearing the rings.
have the rings.
Yep.
So yeah. So there you go. Like I said, for being a Lord of the Rings nerd, I think it's a fun show. It's finally getting to kind of get a more proper narrative at that time that is more than just like a biblical mythological style recounting,
And I think for a lot of people, it's kind of, they've taken their own way of talking about all these time periods too, right? It's not like, oh, nope, it's this way. I think a lot of people kind of give their own thought process on how the story has gone.
And that's here's something that, you know, when they do tell stories in different ways, well, think of the Lord of the Rings mythos as a mythology. Like mythological stories throughout time are told differently at different times. That was a big thing. The original creator of Legend of Zelda, when he created that story, like technically that story is retold every time there's a new game in different ways.
Yeah.
Because according, you know, in a lot of mythology, it's never told the exact same way every time.
Yeah, it's perspective.
Yeah.
Point of view.
So if you look at it that way, then you don't have to stress about it.
Yep.
There you go. So yeah. So Rings of Power, I give it a 4 out of 5. I think it could have been paced faster.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see where
still sleeping.
I'll have to see where the Strangers storyline, the Strangers and Nori storyline goes in future seasons, but it was kind of not super necessary.
I felt like they had to have it there for it to make sense later, right?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't just bring them in and be like, where the hell were these guys the whole first season?
Yeah. You know, I want to see those big beats. I want to see the fall of Numenor. I want to see
the 3 witches. I'm not sure if they were named in any way, shape, or form, but they are servants of Sauron. Yeah. So I'm not sure if.
All right. Johnny Boy says Elf, Harfoot, Mystery Tallman, marry one, kill one. No, I'm not playing that. Which elf? There's multiples. Anywho. So yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, we also saw the conclusion of She-Hulk this week. I'm going to go ahead and delit the elf. Ew. I loved it. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5.
She-Hulk for me, I think still 4 out of 5, but it was still really good.
Yeah.
I thought the ending was definitely very She-Hulk, but at the same time, it was like everything that it still didn't actually have an ending. It was just like all those things happened.
You know what would have been the best, the best thing they could have done, and it would have made people go nuts. It would have made total sense, is when she's walking the halls of Marvel Studios, like Deadpool walks by.
Yeah. That would have made people go crazy.
Like that would have just been fantastic for like the 2 of the 3 big fourth wall breakers, you know, Gwenpool being the other one.
Yeah.
To kind of go in there. That would have been like tops. Now I did notice something. So I hate to admit it. When I watch something at the house, I have to turn closed captioning on. We have determined my hearing is not great.
No, I turn it on all the time.
And especially like when a lot of names are thrown around and stuff like that, especially during like
I like watching a lot of stuff
House of Dragons.
I miss a lot less
Yeah.
with the captions on.
House of Dragons, I have to have the captions on just so I can keep Targaryen names straight.
Yeah, right.
Because they are all so freaking similar. And seeing them helps me keep it straight. Anyway, if you watched it with closed captioning on, when she goes into the writer room and they start talking about Kevin, they captioned it with the acronym.
I kept seeing that over and over. I was like, okay, something's not right.
Disney has gone back. If you go back and watch it, they have edited it and changed it to a proper
just
name.
Kevin.
Yes.
So that way you don't get, it doesn't spoil you before you see it.
Right.
Interesting.
Because that's not what the writers intended. The writers intended to lead you into that was Feige.
Yeah, I always think it's interesting as well, because a lot of times closed caption will spoil something for you, like a character's name or something like that.
Yeah.
That it shouldn't say. So,
Yeah.
But that is interesting.
Yeah. So and just like Disney Plus does, they patch their videos now.
Yep.
Sometimes
not in a good way.
Sometimes not in a good way, but
Thor.
What did they edit in Thor?
What's his face's son when he's doing like the little ghost face? They made it worse. A lot of people hated the CGI for his face when he's like being captured by and he shows his face to Thor and is like talking to him.
Oh.
And a lot of people are like, that looks really terrible. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll fix it. And they made it worse.
Huh.
So
I guess I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it ended right where, I figured it'd go. It was just a funny show. It was
if you watched it and you knew what you were watching, it was fine. They made fun of She-Hulk CG.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, stick through it. They make fun of it. You know what I mean? Like, they totally troll themselves throughout the TV show. So we all know.
Which I went back, like, what was it? Age of Ultron was on the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good too. Like, go back and watch Endgame.
Yep.
Like, it's not the Hulk is not great.
No.
Like, that's hard CG to do.
It's a hard, big, moving character to do, especially when everybody else around you is live action.
Yeah.
So
it's one thing when the Hulk is like bestial and is not Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. I will
it's
say
another
that,
when he's Smart Hulk, and they have to match his mannerisms. They have to make him look like him.
Yeah. I was not impressed with the way Scar looked.
Yeah, that was weird.
I do like a lot of the redone versions that people have done to give him the longer hair, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure why they went with the kind of weak-looking, awkward kid.
Yeah, which
I don't know what was up with that. Maybe we'll see. But
if they do decide to go with that storyline, because that could have just been a throwaway thing that they threw in there just for fan service. If they do decide to re-explore that further, I mean, they could totally redo them. I mean, look how many iterations Thanos went through before we got to the proper Roland Thanos, right? How he looked throughout all the post-credit scenes and stuff like that. So
keeping it on Hulk a little bit here, some of the things that have happened this week with Hulk, of course, Harrison Ford's pretty much been confirmed to be Red Hulk now.
At least to be Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross and in Captain America and also in the Thunderbolts movie. I know, right? It's like every time you
not touching the table
it's like,
sorry.
And then, of course, we got Scar, but also it makes you wonder. So She-Hulk, I guess at the end of that She-Hulk, when Daredevil's visiting family, we don't really know how much time's elapsed there, right? It could be a day, it could be weeks.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder if we do get a Planet Hulk movie. Was it just in a couple of days that he was gone? I'm sure probably a few weeks at least passed throughout the series.
Or there could be time dilation if you go to Sakaar.
Yeah.
There could be like some kind of,
So I am interested in the timeline of that, since and if we do get a movie, are we just going to be like, oh yeah, he went and he got all pissed off, but now he's back as Professor Hulk and everything's cool.
Yeah, Scar has a very odd haircut.
Yeah,
lots of forehead, but I mean, sure, just sell it if that's what you're going for. Sell it better.
Maybe they're leaving long-haired Hulk for like when they actually do like a old man
Maestro
Hulk or something. Or Maestro.
Yeah. So yeah. Like I said, She-Hulk was good. I enjoyed it. So Werewolf by Night. So let's get back to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like Friday night. We got back.
New York Comic-Cons makes you tired.
Oh my gosh.
Brandon couldn't help himself.
That was a lot of walking. So much walking. Oh, we're only blah blah blocks away. Yeah, until you realize when you go north south, the blocks are huge.
Yeah.
East west. The blocks are huge. North south they're small. Yeah, that was a lot of walking. So we got back and I'm laying on the bed watching Werewolf by Night, and I got comfortable.
Yeah,
and so I was in and out of consciousness throughout that whole not movie.
I look over to the other bed, and Brandon's like out, and I'm all, should I wake him up? Nah, I'm gonna let it go.
I was having a hard time. What I watched of it, I really enjoyed. I need to go back and rewatch it. I just haven't yet because I've been getting caught up on.
It was good.
All the other shows.
A lot of really good practical effects.
Yeah.
I will say my theory came true. Where by the end of the show, it all came into full color. That was my biggest theory that was going to happen, so that it can make sense into the normal MCU.
Yeah.
So
I think my only critique was when they didn't really. They could have leaned in a little bit more on like a lot of the like film
the aspect,
like film degradations aspect, audio quality. Like I think there could have been some things to kind of make it look a little more dated.
More WandaVision.
Yeah.
The first couple episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm obviously they could have done that. So obviously it was a choice for them not to.
Yeah.
The circle in the top right corner. It's not Fight Club.
There's a lot of people saying that there are rumors that Marvel is going to do something similar with X-Men characters. Basically give us 1 hour episodes per character.
Nova too. I heard Nova.
Yeah. Some with Nova, just to kind of give us more background on a character, but not have to go full blown movie.
Yeah.
And then that way, when we get to a movie, we know who they are.
Yeah, it kind of leads into a lot of the featurettes and stuff like that. And Disney Plus is a great platform to do that.
Absolutely.
So they have a vehicle to do a lot of exposition. So yeah, when you bring them together for Ms. Marvel is going to be, characters introed in series and then.
So the big question now is we've seen all the Thunderbolts characters coming together. We've seen their Unity movie that's going to be happening. Now we're wondering, okay, so we have all these younger Avengers characters.
Mm-hmm.
We have all these Midnight Sun characters,
Marvel
Knights characters. Yeah. When are we going to start seeing those guys in groups in a movie?
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the mutant stuff yet. But man, if it wasn't anything, go back to She-Hulk, man. She's like, when are we getting the X-Men? He's like, I can't answer that. She's like, can't hurt me for trying.
That was so on the nose and great. Like they're really setting up the Young Avengers hardcore. We haven't seen Hulkling yet, but we are. I mean, maybe in Secret Invasion we start
getting some more of that
because all the squirrels and such.
So I guess coming up next we have Black Panther.
Wakanda Forever, which I'm excited for.
And then what? Ant-Man? Is that next?
Yes? Hold on.
I'm trying to remember what's next slate wise. I think Secret Invasion might be the next thing. Actually, time to sell your Riri, right?
Riri. No. Come back. Where is it? Where is it?
We're pulling up the Disney slate.
Okay.
Schedule. There's Black Adam. I'm going to go watch that this weekend.
List of Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Here we go.
Don't spoil anything.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
Is your Marvel wiki giving you issues over there?
No, I'm okay, so we're getting Black Panther Wakanda Forever November 11th.
Yep.
And that is it for films this year. So films next year, February is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay. May is Guardians Volume 3. July is Marvels, and that's it for films for 2023. Which is great.
Nothing in the fall.
They had a bunch of pushbacks. Blade was supposed to be the fall.
Okay, and that got pushed to February next year.
That got pushed to September 24.
September
of 24. It got pushed behind Captain America and Thunderbolts.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Then Deadpool 2024, Fantastic Four is 25. Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars 25 and 26.
Yeah, I know they pushed like 4 or 5 movies.
Yeah,
like last week.
So
that Deadpool was also got pushed.
Yes, well, yeah. I
think it's 25 now. No, 24.
Deadpool's 24.
Yeah.
So going to television series and specials.
Yeah, I think Secret Invasion's next. Then Loki 2 apparently has finished filming, so I'm guessing that's going to be sometime next year.
Okay, here we go. No, we're in phase 4. Get back here. Wow.
Armor Wars is now a full-blown movie, but has no release date.
Yep.
And then we should have Ironheart in there at some point, too.
Okay, that is...
Oh, and then Daredevil.
So yeah, She-Hulk ends phase 4.
Yeah, we're going to get...
Phase 4 is done.
Watch Daredevil get smashed in his own
phase 5
episodes.
Okay, so here's what we get as far as television shows for phase 5. What If and Secret Invasion still just have early 2023.
Okay.
Then we get Echo and Loki mid 2023.
Okay.
And then Ironheart and Agatha late 2023, with Daredevil being early 2024.
Okay.
And
how did you like Morpheus? Are we talking about the Morpheus from Loki? Wasn't that what his name was? No, it was Morbius. Morpheus.
Morbius is
sorry, the Sony Morpheus.
Morbius
Is what I'm thinking you're saying.
Mobius. That was a character in Loki. Yeah.
Yeah. Mobius. That's what I thought you were going with. I was like,
that was Owen Wilson. I have not watched so I am really bad about the non-Spider-Man Sonyverse. I have not watched either of the Venom films.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't watched Morbius yet.
They were all just okay to me. I'm not going to say they were bad. I'm not going to say they were good. I watched the movies and I was okay when I left it, and so they're okay.
Yeah.
I if it was on TV, I would watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. I ain't gonna be mad about it.
So yeah, and we still don't have a date on X-Men 97.
Nope.
So I was thinking about that because that con I was talking about earlier, they're gonna have panels about X-Men 97, and it dawned on me that when we went through all that D23 stuff, it wasn't even mentioned.
No.
So we're still on hold for that one. But yeah. So
I think the only thing left is next week we'll be talking about Black Adam, and we'll be talking about new Star Wars cartoons.
I'm not gonna be talking about Black Adam.
I will, but we'll be talking about new Star Wars cartoons because all 6 shorts come out next Wednesday.
Oh, for the Tales of the Jedi?
Yep.
Oh, they're doing a unified dump?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, because I guess in that full-blown episode, so I'm guessing we're probably going to get an hour and a half of content would be my guess. Something hour and a half or less would be my guess. But I'm pretty excited about that, seeing those 2 storylines get a little bit more meat to them. So
yeah,
really, really cool. And then, of course, more Andor.
Yep.
We'll be on episode, 9?
This was
8.
This was 7, so
Yeah.
8 is coming of 12.
Love it.
10
love
weeks
it
total.
12 weeks, right?
Well, no.
It's 12 episodes.
3 came out in 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
So 10
Thanks,
weeks
Disney.
total. Yep. So yeah. And I think once Andor's done, I think I'm caught up.
We're waiting on Mando after that.
Yeah, I'm kind of. If Black Adam, Mario says, if Black Adam doesn't turn into Journey to the Center of the Jumanji Jungle 3 with super. Oh my gosh. It's like. That's like no, you didn't get Skyscraper in there somehow.
There's not a giant monkey.
There's no Scorpion King reference.
Yeah.
Nope. Try harder, Marty. Yeah.
You missed so much.
You gotta try harder.
And you didn't even put a smell of any kind in there.
No. No Cage. So, all right.
Steamboat. Yeah.
Jungle Cruise. That. You got that one.
Yeah. Jumanji Jungle. I mean, I don't know if you got it on purpose, but you got it in there.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So I think once Andor's done, I've kind of got a hiatus. Like I'm kind of getting a break from shows that, House of Dragons
is
still going, but that's only one episode left.
Yeah, I think the season's about to end on that one.
Which is fantastic.
But yeah, I mean it's almost time for that Christmas break anyway, so all the shows are gonna chill out for a bit anyway. So
yeah, I'll get caught up on other shows that I've been meaning to go back and watch. Movies that I haven't watched yet, that aren't part of the Star Wars, Marvel, Game of Thrones stuff. So
Lord of the Rings,
all the things. Willow's coming. Oh yeah,
Willow's coming. Oh, season 3 of Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime. It's actually pretty good. I don't know if you have seen it yet, but it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Anybody else is watching the Jack Ryan stuff on Amazon? It's really, really good. I enjoy it. Willow is this year? It's not this year, is it?
I think it's 23.
Yeah, I think it's next year, right?
Yeah.
And then there's supposed to be a Christmas. Isn't there a Christmas special for Guardians too?
There is their holiday special, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's this year because they filmed that before Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, Willow is November 30th. It's coming very soon.
Nice.
Let's see here.
Nice.
MCU special.
I just rewatched Willow like 6 months ago, so I'll have to rewatch it again to make sure I'm up and ready to go. It's so funny, all the characters that will Val have a cameo? It's actually what I was about to say. I don't know. It's so interesting, all the actors that are in Willow that you're like, really?
Yeah.
You were in that?
The Guardians holiday special is this December.
Yeah.
So,
that's what I was thinking.
which I hope they're funnier than they were in Thor, because they were kind of just not really there in Thor. But I mean, I know that they weren't like the main characters and they're just kind of a backdrop, but
I kind of wonder if the holiday special is kind of their way of saying, yeah, we're doing a holiday special, but it's more of this is how we get back into James Gunn's story.
yeah, and kind of diverge from
Kind of, so
Infinity
you need to watch that
Thor.
so that when we get to the third movie, it's just about them.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about anybody else.
Will Val have a cameo in Willow? Maybe. She may get a Thunderbolt out of Willow. I don't know. No, that's a joke.
I was thinking about Val Kilmer.
Oh, will Val Kilmer have a cameo? It would be cool.
Kind of like a Top Gun kind of thing.
Yeah. But it's like,
We'll
is
see.
he going to do that for every franchise he was a part of? I mean, which I guess it's really...
I mean, he did have a good amount of weight in that one as well, as far as what his character did.
Yeah, he was a big character in it. So, but yeah. So exciting. Yeah, so I don't think we've got anything else we're talking about. We're kind of wrapping up. So let us bid everybody watching the podcast adieu. And thank you for joining us. But if you are watching us on Whatnot, we've got some products to show off, and we've got another giveaway. So if you are watching us on YouTube or listening to us, and you want to be a part of our giveaways and buy it nows and stuff, definitely make sure to catch us Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central on Whatnot at Unknown Comics Live, and you can catch us there, chat with us, and interact with us live and get cool stuff. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.